welcome to this Tips and Tricks webinar called Reduce Noise When Searching Orbit Intelligence. My name is Jesper Landahl and I will be your presenter for this session. As you know, Questel organizes a series of webinars that we call Tips and Tricks. The purpose of this is to provide our users with short training sessions to help them get maximum benefit of using the Orbit Intelligence platform. For this month's topic, we are discussing the aspects of reducing noise from your search results, but to ensure that you still get enough relevant hits. One of the challenges of working with patent information today is that the amount of available data has grown so much. This is due to the increased number of filings, but you can also see that we now have much more complete availability of information. For example, the amount of full text, which is available on a wider geographical scope, for more publication types, as well as going back further historically. When it comes to filings, we can make a comparison with year 1998, so 20 years back. Then you can see that we had about 830,000 new patent families. So we are here looking at families with the first publication date that year. 20 years later, this has grown to 3.7 million. So the increase has been huge. In general, I think this is a good thing, but users of patent information need to be aware of this because it has implications. The users need to have access to good search and review tools, which will help them identify noise and will help them exclude noise from the result set. At the same time, we want to keep the relevant patents in there. So the purpose with this webinar is to help you find a good balance between recall and precision. In other words, between an exhaustive search and a search where you have mainly relevant hits. Within Orbit Intelligence, we have a number of tools that will help you minimize noise, and that will also help you understand why you have received irrelevant hits. So for search functionalities, Orbit allows you to have a good selection of searchable fields. You can use proximity operators to increase the relevancy of your results. You can specify they should be in the same record, the same field, the same paragraph, same sentence, or within a certain number of words. You can also use classifications or technology domains to limit your search. And it's also important that you have the correct use of truncation and wildcards. The review functionalities include highlighting of searched keywords, quick, which means keyword in context. This is a display that shows where in the record the system has found your search criteria and therefore why a certain hit was retrieved. Search results are also sorted by relevance, showing the best hits first and the bad ones at the end of the list. You also have customizable display formats helping you to see the most relevant or most important information for you, to see that first. And you can also use the analysis module to see if there are specific clusters of patterns that generate noise. To illustrate today's tips and tricks, we will take the example of autonomous vehicles. And what we are doing is that we are trying to prepare a data set for a patent landscape. As this is a landscape search, we are dealing with large data sets, and therefore we have certain considerations. We need to prepare a broad data set that contains all relevant patents So therefore, we need to use a broad search query. We need to identify the possible reasons for noise from this large data set by using some of Orbit Intelligence's review functionalities. And we want to remove noise, but still ensure that we're not eliminating relevant patterns. Okay, so we will begin with a search query. We are now working in the advanced search form, and we are using keywords related to autonomous vehicles. We have separated them into two different search boxes. So we have the terms related to autonomous in one of the boxes and to vehicles in the other one. So in the first box we have driverless or autonomous or automated. In the other one we have the terms car or vehicle. And in those cases we have used the question mark as a truncation or as a wildcard. This means 0 or 1 character. So it's mainly there to retrieve English language plural. But in fact, of course, any character could be retrieved. But in this case, it's meant to pick up car or cars. Between the two boxes, there will be the AND operator, which is there implicitly. And using the AND operator means that the search terms could be available anywhere in the patent family, because in this case we're also searching in FAMPAT. We should also select the searchable fields that we want. In this case, I will select the title, abstract, claims, and object of invention. And I use this to find the patents for which autonomous vehicles are the principal topic. The object of invention is part of the selection of fields that we call key content, this together with advantages over prior art drawbacks and independent claims. In this case, we have chosen instead to search all claims, not just the independent ones. And we have chosen not to include advantages over prior art drawbacks because this field is very much concerned with the prior art, and because of that, it could give us some irrelevant hits if you use keyword searching on that. After running the search on FAMPAT, we get the result now of nearly 125,000 patent families. So this is a very large result set, and I can be almost certain that there will be some noise in there. So a good option is to begin with using the analysis module to identify if there is any obvious noise in there. You can launch the analysis module by clicking on the floating button, which you can see at the bottom right of your hit list. In the analysis module, you can use the concept analysis, and this one is available in the Gold and Platinum subscriptions of Orbit Intelligence. In this case, we have noted a cluster of patents that are related to cards and payments. Reason for this is that I've used the wildcard on the word car, which, as I mentioned, was meant to pick up also cars. But in this case, it would also pick up the word card, for example. So this is often the case with short words if you use wildcards on those. So I can anyway use this information that I see here in the analysis module. So I can use that to adapt my search query. And the solution in this case is to spell out the variations that I want of the words car. So that would be car or cars instead of using the truncation. That is in general a good idea when it comes to short words, because if you use truncation on those, you will often retrieve plenty of noise. So we will run this query again with that we have now edited, and we now get a different result. So you can see that it has actually gone down quite a lot. So we are about just over 83,000 patent families. And if we look at the results on the first page, it seems like the results are pretty good. But what you have to remember is that the hit list is sorted by relevance. And it means that all the good patents will appear at the top of the list. So these will be patents that have the search keywords present in the and are frequent as well in the title and abstract and in the first claims, etc. That are frequent and close to each other. So therefore, because it's sorted by relevance, it can be a bit misleading, actually. So instead, what you can do is that you can go to the last page to see the worst patterns in my result set. So here I am on the last page, and I can see that there is quite a lot of noise here. And if we want to understand why we receive this noise and get some information in order to adapt our search query, it's a very good idea to use the quick tab, keyword in context. So if we look at the keyword in context tab here, you can see that the system is pulling out a few lines of text before and after the keywords. And this helps you to understand why you have gotten this record in the result set. And also where in the record these keywords are found, so in which member and which section of this member even. So what we can see in this case is that we have the word vehicle in one of the family members, and we have the word automated in a different member. And often that means that this is not so relevant. And clearly what we can see here is that this patent is not describing an autonomous vehicle. Another example from the same result set. Here we can see that the keywords are actually present in the same member, but they are quite far away from each other. They're not in the same paragraph. And also we can also see here that the patent doesn't fall within this topic. So what we want to do now is that we want to reduce the distance between the searched keywords. So I will go back to my search query, and now I adjust it based on what I found out in reviewing these patents. So in this case, what I want to do is I want to add the proximity operator. I use the operator P, which means that I will search for keywords that appear in the same paragraph. And as mentioned, reducing the distance between such keywords will lead to higher precision. So we will now do the same thing. So we will run the search again using the P operator, and now we will jump straight to the last page to see the worst results of the result set. And when I look at the last page here, I can see that the proximity operator brings my keyword closer, but that some of them are still not in the topic. So, for example, here we can see keywords are in the same paragraph, but they are still not describing an autonomous vehicle. This is a patent actually describing the door locking mechanism for a vehicle. So we can continue to adapt our search query. In this case, we will use a different operator. So instead of using P for paragraph, we use the S operator, which means that the search terms will need to be in the same sentence. So we can see what we can get, what kind of results we get for that. In fact, the result will improve, but we can see that the distance between keywords probably still is a bit too large. The example that we can see here is an online system for locating automobile dealers with customers. So indeed, it's not a driverless vehicle. So even if the terms are in the same sentence, I still get irrelevant hits. So what I can do is to go back to my query and use a different operator. So now I will use the D operator, in this case 10D. So what that means is that I'm searching for the terms within 10 words of each other. And that they could also be in any order. So autonomous could be first, or vehicle second, or vice versa. Again, I will focus on the last page to detect and understand the noise. It looks like my results are much closer to the topic than before. That in itself is good. But at this stage, I also wonder how I can achieve the best balance between recall and precision. In fact, I might want to improve the recall in this case. Therefore, I want to adapt my search query. And the next step that I take is that I want to isolate the term driverless. Previously, I've had driverless limited by other keywords like car, cars, or vehicle. But now I'm breaking driverless out on its own because driverless is in fact on its own describing something related to vehicles and autonomous vehicles even. So by isolating this, this could be a way for me to improve the recall. We can look at the results, and when I looked at the patterns with only the driverless vehicle, it looks like a lot of them are relevant. So here we have one example where we can see a driverless bus. We didn't use the bus keyword, and this had not been picked up by a previous query, so it's a completely unique hit. So we can continue developing the query further, because we might actually want to reduce noise even further. So in this case, we have decided to lower the distance even further between the keywords. So we go from 10D to 5D. So this means that the search terms would need to be within 5 words of each other. With this search, I still, however, keep the word driverless searched on its own, so still isolated. The results, when I study those, they actually now look much more relevant, but I want to see if I have excluded any important patterns by reducing the distance so much between from 10 to 5D. So the way I can do it is I can use the search history page and the command line and compare the results that I get with the 10D operator with a 5D operator. I then use the numbers of the search set to combine the searches. And here I exclude search number 7 from search number 6 to identify what patterns have been removed in search number 7. So we can look at some of the results, what we have now excluded, and we can see that plenty of noise was removed. We have 3 examples here. So for example, we have the system for automated detection of mobile phone usage, so the driverless vehicle. And we have an automated parking system. It is within the transport sector and it's related to automation, but it's not directly related to autonomous drive. The third example, however, could be relevant. It's related to collision avoidance, and in this case, it would be for unmanned aerial vehicles, but in fact, this could also be relevant for the topic. So therefore, I would actually like to adapt my search query again. And in this case, what we're going to do is that we're going to increase the distance between the keywords. A further addition to the search query is actually we would like to add the term bus to the search query. So this ties back to a previous search where I identified that some patterns were related to bus, and to be sure that I would find those, I also want to add the word bus to my search query. So this will give us some more results, but what you also will see is that the term bus could also be used in other technical fields. So here we have another irrelevant hit because bus could also be an electronic component. So a solution for this could be to combine with pattern classification or with a technology domain. So I have opted to go for technology domains. They are based on the IPC classification, and we are using short definitions to the broad level classifications. So in this case, I'm going to use the technology domain transport. I can select those from a list of domains that I can access from the assistant button or the magic wand on the right-hand side of the corresponding search box. So here is the obvious choice to include the domain transport. And in the end, our search query will look like this. So this is actually the final search query that you will can run either from the search form, but also from the command line, like that. So, as a conclusion, it is important to know that you can you need to find a good balance between recall and precision. If you increase the recall, precision will go down, and vice versa. Some of the tools that you can use concept analysis for large search results especially. Please note that since results are sorted by relevance, you should look at the last pages to review noise. You can use the quick tab to understand why you have received a hit and also where in the pattern family the search terms are present. You should use the correct truncation or wildcard. So you can use, for example, it's better to use question mark than to use unlimited truncation because it will be much more exact. However, in some cases, it might mean that you want to spell out the variations of shorter words. So, for example, car, it's better instead of truncating it to write car or cars. Proximity operators can be used to improve precision. And, of course, you can consider combining certain words with classifications or with technology domains. So we have come to the end of the presentation, but I would like to leave the floor open for questions. So we have one question here. So this was related to the proximity operators. So really, the question is if there's a list available of definitions, and in fact, yes, there is. I mean, we have definitions available in help files. So it's searchable and it's quite easy to find in the help files. So there's another question on how a paragraph is defined. So this is also related to the proximity operators searching in the same paragraph. So this is the system will identify a section of text with one line and an empty line or a line break before or after it. We also had a question about the sorting order of the result list. So the question is if you can sort the list by other than relevance. So yes, you can. That is indeed the case. So you can sort, for example, by first application date, for example, and you would click on the relevant column for that, and that would change the sorting order. So, and we have a question related to so if you have already identified irrelevant patterns, can you mark them as irrelevant in the system? So the way that it would be done usually by client is that you would save it. You can save it to a list, and the way that it works with lists in Orbit, if you click on a list, that will generate a step in your search history, and then it could be excluded from your search. Okay, so the question was how can you do the same trick if you don't have the platinum option? So I think the question was about the concepts analysis. So this trick is available not only in platinum, it's also available in gold, but it could be that you don't have analysis at all. And there is actually something that we call top analysis, which will give you some keyword, or it will also show you the top concepts, not using a graphic representation and not really by clusters, but you're going to see which keywords they would be. So that could be one solution. There's also the question what is technology domain based on? So it's based on IPC, the IPC system, and it's really high-level IPCs, so broad-level IPCs. Okay, design patterns. How can you exclude those? So this is an interesting question, of course. It's not possible to exclude them using any tick boxes or so, but you can exclude them using the kind code for designs, and usually the kind code is S or D. So we can put that in there. And then so the question is, how can we ask the system to highlight keywords in the search results in different colors? That we can do, but you would use the manual highlighting assistant for that. So it's there's a manual highlighting assistant that you can use that for. So I think we've been through most of the questions. There might be a couple left, but we're really out of time. So I just would like to thank everyone. What we will do, this session has been recorded, The recording will be sent to all participants. Also, we had quite a lot of questions. We will answer them also in writing, so you will get a Q&A sheet at the end via email. So anything I also didn't have time to answer right now will also be answered to in writing. So I would like to say thank you very much for attending, and very nice to present to all of you, and thanks for all the questions. You will get the follow-up email within the next few days. And in the meantime, I would like to wish you a nice Thursday. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.